A big win for SIU. They survive. In fact, it was Brian Mullins' first Arch Madness victory, and now he gets to face his old boss, Porter Moser and Loyola Chicago. But it might have come at an expense.
Jason, do you have your wolves up?
I certainly do, Diana. It's a howling good time. See what I did there? I can play along. When anyone gets selected to go into the Hall of Fame, what's something that comes to mind right away?
The people that it took to make that happen.
The Razorbacks are 0-3 in conference play, and they hope, well, some home cooking can help turn things around. This is just a beautiful backdrop to our journey that began at 3:30 this morning. We went through St. Louis, Kansas City, into Nebraska, Iowa, and now South Dakota. We're about 45 miles from Brookings, where tonight's game will be played. And we're excited for this matchup. SIU, they're on a hot streak, but they also add a key weapon to their offense. Javon Williams Jr. has been cleared. He practiced this week. He made the trip. Ref, what are you doing? How'd you miss that call? Are you blind? Do you need glasses? How did you not see that call? We've all heard that before, right? Sometimes we cross the line. We've even heard this. I hope you choke on your whistle. Well, time out. What are we doing, folks? You can wrap that one up in red, white, and blue. I'm with all my rowdy friends right here. Guys, do you guys believe? Aye! Aye! If you can hear them, they're getting into character. They're really feeling it. The school spirit's there. They want to have some football. Who doesn't love football? Come on, guys, get loud. Welcome to Rent One Park. It is the home to the Colt World Series. It's also my office for the evening. It's a little loud here right now. A good crowd has made their way in for the championship game. It is a special night for the Marion community and Southern Illinois. Marion's Darrell Sullivan Jr. is competing tonight in the Tokyo Olympics in the high jump, and fans are making their way in. We've got young fans getting their faces painted, getting red, white, and blue. As you can see, everyone's getting ready for the big event tonight, and we're going to continue to walk through here. I found a special guest. Look at this, a cutout of Darrell Sullivan Jr. Fans have been able to get an opportunity to have their photo taken. There are fans here, but none bigger than Lydia Allen, and she joins us now. This is Darrell's mom. How excited are you? This is a huge event, a huge time. Someone from our area in the Olympics, big stage, world stage. Nearly a month has passed since Florida State won their third national championship. But today, well worth the wait. Garnet and Gold Nation in full force. An entire side of the stadium completely full. Athletic Director Stan Wilcox just told the crowd, get ready because we're bringing home a national championship back to Tallahassee, and that's all they had to hear. Florida State needed a fantastic finish, and they got it. Jameis Winston to Kelvin Benjamin right here in this end zone. Alongside me is a guy who knows a thing or two about playing in national championships. 2000 consensus All-American Jamal Reynolds. Jamal, what's it like playing in this big game? To top things off, in the coach's box, there was a lack of communication. That line of communication went down. They were not able to get that going, so those coaches were unable to communicate to the coaches on the field. All week here at Daytona, veteran drivers have said, you gotta be fast with your car, but also make smart decisions. Jordan Wow, what a stunning loss for Michigan. They thought they had this one in the bag. 10 seconds, that's all that stood in the way of knocking off number 7 Michigan State. Blake O'Neill, all he had to do was catch it or fall on it. That's what you're thinking, right? This team, speechless in the post-game conference. I even asked Coach Harbaugh, was there any other option besides punting?
Road to the Falcons.
Dan, welcome to Nashville. Tomorrow, BGSU will take on 25th ranked Tennessee from inside Nissan Stadium. We're looking at the beautiful skyline view of downtown Nashville, including the famous Batman building. Now, if BG can pull off the upset, it'll be their first victory over a ranked team since 2008.
This is a life changer for me. I'm sure for a lot of these guys. For the first, I've had Parkinson's now 8 years. For the first 6 years, I didn't do anything.
Every year, 60,000 new people are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
I have to plan every step if I want to get where I'm going from A to B. If I'm going to B, I have to sort of plan out how many steps I can make to get to my destination.
Imagine having tremors so bad that it's difficult to eat, tie your shoes, or even stand up. These individuals, through the rigorous training of boxing, feel like champions in their effort to knock out Parkinson's.
We're going to go 30-second jabs.
I was bitter. I tried to hide it. I denied it. But it got to a point where I couldn't hide it. You got to keep trying to get better.
Accepting it. I think that's the toughest part. And once you accept it, then it's a lot easier to handle, I think.
1, 2, 4. Up, 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 up. Right hand.
Their struggles are real.
They say that, Parkinson's is there's parts of our brain that are leaving and will never be back. And right now, the only thing they say that can change that is exercise.
10 jabs, and then we'll switch. And then 10 power hands. 1, 2.
I call them my champions. A lot of people don't understand. So why do you call them champions? These people here are fighters. They've got a battle in life with this disease, and they refuse to lose.
The University of Toledo's occupational therapy program teamed up with Harry's International Boxing Club, giving locals diagnosed with Parkinson's disease hope.
That's my job, is to push them, keep pushing them, make them better. And so that's my job. You can't feel sorry for them. I mean, I do, in a way, in my heart, I do. But on that floor working out, they don't want me to feel sorry for them.
Double jab.
They get diagnosed, and this is their next step forward to fight through it and stay healthy and delay the disease.
The results are astonishing.
I was noticing with my walk. I was shuffling, but now I have better balance.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They feel a little better because they've dropped maybe 5, 10, 15 pounds. They've stretched and used muscles they haven't used for a while.
I feel a lot better because I'm stronger, especially my upper body.
They are fighters and will have the last laugh on Parkinson's disease.
Because if you aren't laughing at yourself, you're crying. And crying doesn't help all the time.
You don't know what to do, you get depressed. But when you turn around and see some of these people and talk to them and listen to how they add humor to having Parkinson's, it makes it a lot easier to accept.
Everybody give me some. Good job, good job, good job. There you go, good job, good job.
Good job, Lynn.
Jason Hurst, T Sports.
I'll probably be 90 and crazy, but I'll still see him coming down, in his little jersey running the Boston Marathon.
With each step, there's a purpose, a stride towards answers. The question is simple: how? The answer, more complicated.
I don't have any idea. That's just straight from God.
You see a healthy Alex Van Harpen running, a member of Williams Baptist cross country team. But in January of 2011, he was diagnosed with strep throat, the flu, and mono, all within a 2-week period. For 5 months, Alex was bound to a wheelchair. One day, he just got up and walked. No explanation for any of it. As a mom, what's going through your mind at this point?
We took him to the emergency room one night, and I didn't know if we would bring him back home or not.
And like for anyone who runs, you find yourself deep in thought, remembering those life-changing moments, faced with scary questions, still with no answers.
They did every test imaginable. I mean, he had spinal taps, he had blood work, he had x-rays, he had MRIs, but he kept declining.
They're still unknown to this day.
So he's back to playing sports, competed in basketball that December of 2011. Early 2012, he's playing baseball. And then just like that, deja vu.
Within about a week, less than that, I was back in the wheelchair full time. Couldn't move my legs at all. We went up to Mayo Clinic, came back with no answers.
This next part makes you believe in miracles.
I was playing in the youth praise band at the time, and we got up to play our invitation song, and I just got up out of the chair, went up and played it.
So let me get this right. You couldn't move your legs, had no feeling in them. Then you go to church, all of a sudden you walk up and you're playing an instrument?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a miracle in there somewhere?
Yeah. All of this is. If someone brushed up against my leg or tried to pinch me, I couldn't feel that.
Where does this come from? Where does this strength come from?
That's straight from God.
What can you say but that it's a miracle? It is a miracle. This is his great testimony, so, I think everything happens for a reason.
Now that he can walk, his sister, a cross-country runner, suggested he run too. He got better and better, one of the fastest runners on the Williams Baptist team. Qualified for the Boston Marathon. Last month was up north with Mom on hand as he ran the prestigious 26.2 miles.
Let's go, Alex!
When you see your son running, what are the emotions like?
From where he was in his wheelchair until now, it's a surreal experience. We're just blessed, you know, to have him on his feet and running, and it's just a miracle.
A lot of times I'll tear up just thinking about the difference between then and now.
All I saw was my 2-year-old little boy just running to the finish line, and of course I cried.
Shaquille Vance is one of the fastest runners in the world. As fast as a cheetah, one might say. He's lacing up his spikes, his eyes set on the 2012 Summer Olympics in London. What you don't know is he has only one leg. His right leg above the knee is a custom-made prosthesis with a cheetah foot. Vance is training for the Paralympics. 2 years ago, an injury in a pickup football game forced doctors to remove Vance's right leg from just above the knee down. Football scholarships gone.
I kept constantly asking will I be ready for the next season? Will I be able to play?
The news just devastating.
At first, I really wasn't interested. Because I just lost my leg. I found out I wasn't going to be able to play football. So I was like, man, my life is over, blah, blah, and all this.
But track is now an option.
I never thought this was even possible. I'm hopefully motivating other people, never to give up, just keep pushing and keep trying. Life is endless. So just keep pushing and everything will be good.
I'm a certified pump technician. On the weekends, I'm a professional paintball player. I might not be getting paid millions of dollars, but I'm expected to perform at every tournament.
Carl Markowski doesn't bring home a big paycheck from the sport of paintball, but he's the only pro from Northwest Ohio. His athleticism got him hooked up with a team in San Antonio, Texas.
The traveling, it's not too bad. It's a couple 2.5, 3 hour flight, but yeah, they pay for all the flights and they get me down there for practices, and it works out pretty well.
India's sponsors.
Planet Eclipse makes a paintball marker for me, my own personal edition, and all the gear that you can use.
The sport has taken him around the world.
Paintball has taken me to anywhere from Las Vegas. I've been to Australia a handful of times. I've been invited to Europe, been invited to South Africa, and all over the United States.
And to live out his dream, Carl has a pretty understanding wife to make it work.
Throughout the years, she's definitely been very understanding. It's been a little stressful here and there with how much I have to leave for work, and then on top of that, a lot of the weekends out of the year I'm gone for paintball. But we're actually expecting our first child this upcoming February.
Jason Hurst, T Sports.